YouTube. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Project 1 Million in 1 year, day one after party. Why success is one of the highest forms of self-love. Now, before we get into it, everybody, I'm just going to go and grab the link and share it with a bunch of people. So everyone who's on Instagram right now, you guys can come over to YouTube. I'm going to grab the link and share it. Here we go. Give me a moment. Here we are. All right, cool. There we are. There we are. Linky. Yeah. All right, Instagram. I'm going to put the link in the comments. Here we are. So that Instagram can grow. Everybody who's on YouTube, let me know where you're tuning in from. Let me know if you're part of Project 1 Million in 1 year. If you are, you're going to love this because I'm also going to go a little bit deeper on why we do what we do and why it matters to you. And most importantly, like the title is why self-love is one of the highest forms, why success is one of the highest forms of self-love. So Instagram, head over to that link so you can join us as well. I'm going to keep you guys around for just a little bit as I'm posting this everywhere. But everybody, let me know, where are you tuning in from? It's always good to know. And I'm just going to share this with our incredible participants. Here we go. And I'm just going to put it in a few more places so that everybody can join the fun. So yeah, Instagram, head over to YouTube. And by the way, let me know if you're part of Project 1 Million. I may have asked that already, but I'm just going to ask it again. And yeah, I'm just getting everything loaded up. There we go. Here we are. And just letting the participants know. So yeah, the title of this video is why success is one of the highest forms of self-love. And I really do believe in this. And it has to do with the fact that if you want to create success for yourself, and if you want to go and do something that's absolutely phenomenal, you gotta love yourself quite a bit for that. So I'm gonna dive in just a second. Bye Instagram, head over to YouTube if you want to be able to join it. Here we go. All right. Cool. So we're now just here with YouTube. So yeah, again, I just want to say this is such an important thing, and why I want to also talk about this a little bit more is because sometimes whenever we are running events like this and people are just completely new to freedom lifestyle creators and the stuff that we do, people sometimes think like, oh my goodness, like I'm not so sure if I'm able to get success, or I'm not so sure if I even want success. I'm not so sure if I even want to make money, things like that, which is very normal because one of the things that I have also noticed in my own journey is that in the beginning, I actually had a little bit of fear of success, meaning that I thought like, what if it changes me? And I don't know if anybody can relate to this. Let me know in the comments if you do, because sometimes we feel like money is the root of all evil, or we feel that we know certain successful people that maybe aren't necessarily a good role model, and they may be not necessarily doing things in an ethical way or the things in the way how we would love to do them. And therefore we think that, therefore, if I get success, I may end up like that type of person, which is obviously not what you want or not what anybody would want. And so it's a very understandable thought. And this is why in this after party today, and by the way, every single day after the event, we're going to have an after party where we can talk about some topics in a little bit more detail, is why I want to talk about this. Because if my duty is to help our students to get success from the event, then it's very important to understand why then is success one of the highest forms of self-love, or even the highest form of self-love. And in my opinion, what it really means is that if you truly and completely love yourself, you would want yourself to live the best possible life. You would want to be healthy. You would want to be loved. You would want to be in a beautiful connection with yourself and with nature and with spirituality. You will want to have great relationships with those people that mean something to you, whether that's your family, whether that's your friends or your community. And you will want to be in a position where you are able to help those around you, whether that is in an emergency or whether that is in general. Maybe you want to donate to your charities. Maybe you want to also be able to make a lasting impact. And a lot of the time, if you have some money, you'll be able to do that on a grander scale and do it sustainably. Because there's a lot of good people that really help a lot of people. But also what happens is if you do that, but you don't necessarily have money to give, so what do you have to give then? You have a lot of other things to give. You have to your heart to give, you have your time to give, your efforts to give, which is very important. But sometimes it gets to a situation, and let me know if you can resonate with this, that you kind of burn out or you kind of are not able to give anymore. And that's one of the very important things that I want to bring to the table with this particular topic today in this after party, is that yes, all these other things that you can give, such as your love, your time, your dedication, they matter. But you, if you truly love yourself, might enjoy it to be in a position where there are no limits to the amounts that you can give for those that you love, for your community, for your charity, and even for yourself. Like, I'm going to ask you this honest question. When you go and do grocery shopping, do you have to check the price? Or are you like, oh, this is good, this is healthy, this is organic, I'm just going to put it in my bag? That's one thing. Because don't you think that if you are a good person, that you deserve the best foods? You deserve to treat your body as a temple and be able to put good foods into your body and be able to make those conscious choices. Because if we want to do amazing things, whether we want to be a great parent or we want to be this great business person or you want to be a great mentor or whatever it is that you want to do, that you are dependent on this body, you're dependent, like, obviously on the spirit, which is so much more bigger than a lot of us sometimes realize, and we're dependent on this body because we're making this human experience happen, or we're experiencing the human experience. And so the way how we feed our vessel determines also what we are able to do with our vessel, and it determines even our mind. I don't know if you ever thought about this, that the foods that we eat are actually very influential to the thoughts that we think, the levels of energy that we have, the levels of confidence that we have. It even has an effect on our personality. So that's just one example, one extreme perhaps, but it's a very important one. And it really does goes to show that if you really 100% love yourself, you would want yourself to live a good life. You would want yourself to have the best foods, to have the best physical training, to have the best conditions, to be able to have freedom and to perhaps enjoy beautiful journeys with your family and with your loved ones. And so what that good life is might be different for you and me and for a lot of other people, but the truth of it is that we will define it in one way or another. And if we really love ourselves, then we would want that for ourselves. And that is why I love also Grant Cardone's quote so much, where he says, success is my duty, my obligation, and my responsibility. Because it is so. It is our choice to make. It is our choice to go and make something happen for ourselves. And one step further, in my opinion, would then be is that if you truly love yourself, you would. And you wouldn't settle for anything but the best. You wouldn't settle from living a life where you are not living up to your potential, that you got more to give. And I'm not even saying this from let's say a competition or athletic, intrinsic fighter type of mentality. Maybe you don't necessarily want to go and come from that point of view, but at least I think you and I can agree to the fact that it would be good that we wouldn't have to think about whether or not we can do something. And that's the consequence of money sometimes, that we want to do. And just think about, is there ever been a moment in your life where you wanted to do something, but you didn't do it because of money? And so money is only one aspect of success, but specifically for our event, where it's Project 1 Million in 1 year, I want everybody to realize that we do deserve the absolute most. And I always believe it in this way. I believe that if God has created us, and I believe in God, and I don't know what you believe in, so you can fill in the sentence, you're almighty. But if we were created, and if God felt that the world wouldn't be complete without us, then isn't that sign and proof enough that we have something really special to bring to the table? That for some reason the world wouldn't be complete without us in it. And so the fact that we are here brings a unique energy that adds to the cosmic scheme, that adds to the other people in this world, that adds to the people in our vicinity, and even people outside of our vicinity. That's why I love the internet. There's so many beautiful things that we can do with it. There's bad things that you can do with the internet, but there's a lot of good things as well. People get together in ways that they weren't able to do that before. People get to help people from all different corners in the world that wasn't possible so many years back. And so we have that gift, the gift of life. We were put here on this earth, in my opinion, with a mission that obviously we are in our lifetime trying to figure out, like, what is the purpose of life? What is my purpose in this life? What can I do? And I think if we follow our hearts and we do good things, then you'll get closer and closer to that purpose. But then I also think, who are we to question our own unique energy and ability and value to this world? And so taking it one step further, if I know that I've been created and there's something for me here, something that I am supposed to share, because otherwise, why would the world be incomplete without me? So I'm supposed to do something here. What is that thing? But then also, if you then have that feeling, and I think that was one of the most beautiful moments of our session today, where I asked, how many of you have this feeling that, like, that you can do so much more, this feeling that you have something special to give, this feeling? And that's what it is usually at the beginning. It's just a feeling. When I started out in 2016 February, and even months before that, when I was thinking about going into business, I was dreading going to work, which was what I was doing before that. I was working in my PhD in astrophysics. As much as I am grateful for that journey and grateful for my professors, it wasn't giving me that joy and fulfillment. And so I was looking for something. I was looking for another way to be able to be purposeful. And in my heart, I kept feeling that feeling. And let me know if you resonate with this, is that, my goodness, I know there's something that I am supposed to do. I know there's so much that I can give. I don't know yet how, and I don't see, like, what is the pathway of going there, but it just feels so beautifully intense and positive that I am meant for something more. Let me know in the comments if you can resonate with that, because that was how I was feeling, like I was meant for so much more. And then what I did is I followed that feeling, and I went and followed my heart, and I was exploring, I was doing my research, I was figuring out, like, okay, so how can I do it? What way can I go into business? And then I met a mentor, and I was like, oh my goodness, this mentor is living the life that I want to live. And I know that I deserve this. I deserve this life. And not just I deserve this, I know the people deserve me also. I knew in my heart, even though I didn't know the how, I just knew that there was something there. And I knew there was something that I could share with the world. And maybe you also have it. I don't know if you have ever seen this. And this is like one of the things that you can see as, or in my opinion, signs, is that, do you have it sometimes that people come to you and ask you for advice? Do you have it that whenever you are engaging with someone else, that person is better off because of that engagement that you had with this other person? Or do you have it that you are so excited and passionate about something in your life that not everybody is necessarily passionate about, but definitely need in their life? Or definitely there's people that would like to explore it too. Like, one of the things that I've learned, which is a very powerful principle, and tomorrow we're going to talk about it deeper, is that for every problem that you have overcome, or for every bit of knowledge that you have, or every bit of talent or passion that you have, there are at least 1,000 people in this world that want to know more and that need you right now and that would love to know how you did it. And not just 1,000, maybe even 10,000, maybe even hundreds of thousands, maybe even millions. And that's where the SCEP exercise comes in, that you figure out, okay, what is that thing that I could uniquely bring to the table in a way that I could add value? Now, you might be wondering at this moment, okay, but how do I do it then uniquely? There are so many other people out there that are already doing it. That's besides the point. There is no such thing as competition. I've learned this from all my mentors. There is no such thing as competition. Yes, there may be other people also doing something similar, but there is no competition. Because if you look at it this way, this is a bottle and it has a lid, all right? This lid uniquely fits on this bottle. But there are so many other types of lids. Like, let me grab another thing over here. I've got this little bottle of oil. It's a different lid, right? This different thingy fits on this one. Now, if I was to try to put this one on this particular bottle, they're both liquid in a bottle, right? Doesn't fit. So what does that mean? It means that yes, there can be so many different lids in the world, so many different people that do what you do or something like it. But not everyone will resonate with every lid. They might just resonate with you when you share it, when you are telling the story, when you are with your unique, beautiful energy and extremely unique set of experiences, when you bring that story to the table. You might be that one that when you say it, then only it clicks for them because they can resonate with you, or because the energy that you have, or just the level of care that you have. And I forgot to mention that today. That's one of the things that I learned from one of my mentors, who said, the person who cares the most in business is the person that wins. The entrepreneur, the company that cares the most about its people, is the company that wins. And so it doesn't matter whether there's 50 other people doing the same. If I care more, you're going to feel that. And that's one thing that we are going to explore in this event. But what does all of this have to do with it? It has to do with, in my opinion, everybody actually realizing how incredible we are. Because most of us are way too humble to recognize our incredibleness. Just think about it. How many times in your life have you thought, well, I mean, who am I to do this and that? Or I'm not so sure if I can do it. Or what if I do it, but then people are not happy, or whatnot? Like all of these things. Maybe you've not think any of it. Also good. But many a time we are our own worst critics. And a lot of the time we forget the impact that we and our stories can make on other people. And so, coming to the point that I was making earlier in this live stream, which is why is it that we do what we do, is that I want people to recognize that they are incredible. I want people to truly be free. It's quite hurtful to see incredible people struggle so much in life. And it actually, in a way, makes me both sad and mad that there are so many good people that just forget their essence. And like what I said during this day number one, for those of you that were there are certain things in society that I don't fully agree with, or in the most kindest way of saying it. I don't think, for instance, that some structures that are in place are as efficient in setting our children and setting our people up for success. Mentioning the educational system, the kindest way of how I can say it is that it's a very outdated system that doesn't do a really good job in preparing people to live a good life. It teaches us algebra, it teaches us geography, it teaches us a whole myriad of things that these days we still use very, very much. Or maybe not so much. But it doesn't teach us the essentials. It doesn't teach us to go inwards. It doesn't teach us to connect with nature. It doesn't teach us how to become financially free. It doesn't teach us how to develop an idea to impact others and then allow that impact on others to bring you income. It doesn't do those things well at all. And there's probably exceptions to the rule. There's probably schools that do amazing, and there's teachers that are amazing. But for the most part, schools are, in the kindest way of saying, very outdated, and they were created in a time where the needs of men were very different than they are right now. So to say it in the kindest words, it just doesn't do the job efficiently. And that's just one part of it. But there's so many other things in society and in people's experiences that make people forget their unique, powerful, limitless radiant essence. And it may sound very fluffy in the way that I'm saying it, but in my belief, all of us are absolutely limitless. Now, it doesn't mean that your future and my future will be exactly the same, and you and I probably don't even want the same thing, so that's totally fine. But what I am saying is that if you have a dream, then you can pursue it. If you have a dream, there are no limits to you achieving that dream in the name of good. Like, I don't preach anything that is bad. I know there's a ton of companies out there that scam people. I don't even call them companies, they're just crooked operations. There's a ton of companies out there that create products that are not helping this world whatsoever. So you have those things also. But what I'm talking about is good, ethical, powerful, purposeful companies that actually add value to people's lives, that leave their customers better off than when they found them. And that is something beautiful. And if you have a dream to help people in a purposeful way, I'm here to tell you that you absolutely can. And that there are no limits to what you can do, no matter what people say, no matter what you even say to yourself. And that's why, again, success is one of the highest forms of self love, because it allows you to love yourself so much that you are willing to explore what that is, that you are willing to not necessarily believe when people say you cannot do it, not necessarily believe that when you have one hiccup, one failure, that therefore it's not possible. That you say, hey, I can fall down, but I'm going to keep standing up because I deserve it. I love myself too much to give up. I love other people too much to not give them my goodness. And that part, I think, is so beautiful, because sometimes, and I actually hear this a lot, because maybe I'm just too transparent in that fact, but a lot of the times these events take a lot of energy from me, because I don't know, for those of you that were there will probably see that it's like a lot of like and a lot of energy, and I really do my best to just get through to our participants. And here I'm sitting with a cup of tea for my throat, and just recuperating myself and these types of things. But it does take a lot. But why do we do what we do? Is because I think that's our purpose, and I think it's the right thing to do. I think it's not right when I have knowledge that I know that can change people's life, that I'm just gonna keep it to myself, because I know this knowledge will change people's lives, and we've seen it time and time and time again. And in the same way, you have something that will change people's lives, and you might not know it yet what that is. So if you're at the event, you'll explore that, you'll figure that out, do the skeptic exercise. But there's definitely something there that you will uniquely bring to the table that makes a difference to other people. And even if there's just one person that I can change the life of, or you can change the life of, it doesn't always have to be thousands, it doesn't always have to be millions, just one person. And that's all that matters. That's you getting your job done. And so going back to why do we do what we do, is because we believe that everyone has the right to be free. Mentally free, physically free, spiritually free, financially free. And we also believe that when we came to this earth, you, me, and everyone here, as children, we were limitless. And we were courageous. And we were unconditionally loving of ourselves and of others. We were enthusiastic. But then what happens is that as we grow up, there's so many things that happen, so many things where we get confined, that sometimes we just forget. And so what I'm wanting to say in closing of this particular after party is that we're not bringing anything new, like what they say in Kung Fu Panda. There's no secret ingredient to the secret ingredient soup. You already have everything within you. All we're doing here is just igniting that spark once again, so that what was always within you, that was always shining already, but due to the course of life has maybe dimmed the flame, we're just igniting it. And we are hoping to make you remember who you truly are. It's just an experience of remembrance and empowerment and support and accountability. Very, very, very important. And so that's what I wanted to end on today. You deserve it. You got this. Love yourself. Believe in yourself. And going after your goal again and aiming for reaching your successes is one of the most ultimate forms of self-love. So on that note, I will be going because I have a call in 14 minutes with my coach, our coach. Yeah, I really believe in mentorship coaching, and we invest in ourselves all the time. And so I'm going to be learning from my mentor, and I'm going to be prepping for a very powerful day tomorrow. It's going to be epic, really life-changing. So for everybody who's part of the event, don't miss it. You got to be there. Everybody who's not yet part of the event, and you're like, oh my goodness, this is awesome, I want to join. You can still sign up. We've only had one day so far. Join us tomorrow. It's never too late to change your life. So let's do it. Yeah. On that note, I'm going to go. Bye, everybody. Hoo, ha, hoo. And if you haven't already, for those of you that are part of the family, part of Project 1 Million, if you haven't done your life yet, do your live stream in the FLE group. Start there. It may be a little bit scary, out of comfort zone for some people, but you'll see if you start there, you do it, even though it's just a 5-second video, it's a huge triumph. And on those triumphs, we build.